This actually is a my blog. I'm actually fiddling with the light at the moment, trying to see if I can get the light right. This video is only supposed to be a couple of minutes. Maybe that light's alright now, so let's have a look. What I've decided to, on a Sunday, I've decided to have a blog. I have a written blog, and this video in fact will be in the blog. So I do that in the morning, and at night I do my Christian work. I have a video there. But what my blog I'm going to do is that it's going to talk about things that have come across my desk that I've heard about, and I thought I'd just make a couple of comments about them. And the biggest thing I noticed in Glen Innes, not the biggest I guess, but what I've noticed is that the council said they're going to try and consolidate all their work staff and bring them maybe in a building on the learning centre. And I think it's going to cost something like $5 million. I've made a comment in that text there below, but just have a read. Because in today's world, where you actually work is a non-event, because technology is such that it doesn't matter where you are. You can be in America, you can be in Alaska, you can be in Melbourne, you can be in Perth, and you can have conferences and you can have discussions in real time nowadays. So really, you don't really need to consolidate your workforce in one spot, except you may want to have a building you can say, oh, well, this is my business, if you like, or this is my council. That's what. The other point to think about, of course, is I do agree the Glen Innes' business strip does need to be made more modern. There's no question about that. I've been to places like Goondiwindi, and the latest one, of course, at Casino. I remember when Casino was being done, and what a mess it was before Christmas. Well, what a mess. And yet I drove through Casino a few weeks ago. It was outstanding, the look of the CBD strip. And today, even in Glen, I agree we do need to update the CBD strip to make it more inviting to people. I definitely agree with that. And the fact that we have to lose a few spaces to do that, I guess really we're sort of stuck with that. But we do need to have a better CBD strip, a more modern one. The other thing that came across my desk today, you wouldn't believe it, I actually got emails from a religious organisation where a guy sent me an email and looked at my website, which is You Must Repent, and a website I have that is called Revelations You Can Understand. And that guy sent me an email and said, I had a look at your websites and I've decided, Hendrik the Jong, that you are a false prophet, and you, Hendrik, are an abomination before God. Your websites are. Needless to say, I had a few emails with him, but finally, an email came when I talked about the book, A World Deceived. I said, well, really, it's just an interpretation which could be wrong. And the Bible, we say, is right because that came from God. And his last email that I sent, he sent me, he said, but it's not an interpretation. So what I know straight away I knew that Andy, I guess his wife, and the group he supports have decided that book is of some divine input from God. And then for Andy and his group, A World Deceived, to say that I'm a false prophet and that my website and etc. is an abomination before God is really absolutely ridiculous. So anyway, there's a fair bit of information I actually put there today, because a fair bit of information went between each other, between A World Deceived and, of course, me. Anyway, it ended up being that definitely the false prophet is the guy, Andy. A World Deceived is the false prophet. I'm nearly 100% positive of that. What else has covered today? They're the two big things that has happened today, isn't it? And what I'm going to do now, this is just going to be a couple of minutes, I'm actually going to now Each Sunday I'm actually going to make a few comments of what's happened during the week. What I do notice, because I do website work, I'm travelling in all the businesses. I do know that businesses are having a tough time. There's no question about that. But that's the situation. And I guess every business, what we need to do is just maximise every sale we can have. Every shop is to operate in such a way that any business that is available, any customer comes their way and actually buys. So that's the way the world is today. Oh, I did notice this morning there was a bit of a comment about Woolworths, a duopoly, and that the small businesses are sort of being cut away because of the big companies, which is true. You cannot cannot deny that. But the trouble is the government really have made a few wrong moves, haven't they? They have actually let the bigger companies get in, and now they employ so many people. What do Woolworths employ? 30, 40,000, probably more. Coles, all the same amount of people. You're talking about big businesses that operate big businesses that operate a lot of people. And so I think it's too late to sort of unhinge what's happened, and we really have to find a way to cope. And I really think that this, where people are, if you like, whinging about the circumstance, I really reckon that you're really fighting against the tide. I think now things have gone too far. We want competition, but it doesn't really happen, does it? Anyway, that's all I'm going to say now. I'll have a talk to you next Sunday, and let's just see what happens during the week.